Do you display the red signs of financial illiteracy? Frankly, most of us would never confess to being financially uneducated because it would prove we know less, a feeling that might bring us deep shame. But honestly, in financial matters, it's better to simply admit that you're financially illiterate than to deny it and fall into deep pits of financial burdens and instability. So let me ask you this. Do you often borrow from your friends and relatives or ask for their advice on financial matters? Or do you feel making a budget is unnecessary and money is only a piece of paper unless it's spent and new things bought? And what do you think about investing? Is it a waste of time, money, and energy, or is it something just for rich people? Well, these things might seem normal, but in the long run, they impact what happens to you financially. So, what are the red flags that you should have your eyes on to find out whether you're financially illiterate or not? Hello there, I'm Manyara Kirago, and I've been a personal finance professional for the last 2 decades. In this video, I will share the signs that show that you don't understand money and finance yet and need more financial education. Knowing this is precisely the point where everything can change for you financially. Either you can see these red flags and avoid them, or continue to ignore them and walk into financial disasters. If you need help to get the best outcome with your finances, I'm available for your support. Please check out my Financial Freedom online course, my one-on-one financial freedom coaching, and the Eternity Real Estate program from the links in the description below. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and share it with anybody who you think may benefit from it. Also, ring the bell icon to be notified each time I post a new video. So let's get started. Red flag number 1: disdaining capitalism and wealth. Irrespective of what I believe, the majority of the world follows capitalism and makes money following this system. So, I have 2 choices. I can either resist this system and make efforts to change it, or I can follow it and make money. Honestly, we have to be practical and sometimes cynical when money is involved. It is said that if you cannot beat them, join them. Therefore, instead of fighting against capitalism, try following it to make money. However, if you still resist capitalism, it's a red flag, and you can end up a financial disaster. Of course, it's true that capitalism has its flaws, but it has been a driving force behind innovation, economic growth, and personal financial freedom. Disliking wealth creation or seeing it as inherently negative may indicate a misunderstanding of how wealth can be used to create opportunities, independence, and stability. Today, if somebody has money, it's because they understand capitalism and how to take advantage of it, instead of spending all their energies on fighting against it. Even the basic tools of wealth creation, like investing and compound interest, are only possible because of capitalism, allowing you to create wealth and achieve financial independence. When you get financial education, you understand that wealth accumulation is not inherently bad. When managed responsibly, wealth can be used to improve lives, provide security, and contribute to society. Red flag number 2 is impulse spending without understanding opportunity costs. A major sign that tells someone is financially illiterate is their impulse spending habits, revealing that they don't understand how money works. You should know that impulse spending is often driven by emotional decisions rather than careful financial planning. A thing is instantly bought because it gives short-term joy, and one becomes a victim of consumerism. However, a financially literate person understands that money has two main roles. It can be spent today, or it can be invested to reap benefits in future. This is where the concept of opportunity cost becomes critical. Each time you spend money on non-essential items like expensive clothes, unnecessary gadgets, or excessive dining out, you are choosing not to invest that money. In other words, you are considering spending money more important, but in this, you are losing an opportunity to invest. If you invested, you would get returns, but since you have spent the money, you give up on the potential returns. You should know that investments can multiply over time through compound interest and asset appreciation, meaning that money impulsively spent today could have grown significantly in future. For instance, a monthly habit of spending 25,000 shillings on non-essential items equates to 300,000 shillings annually. If that amount were invested at a 12% return, it would grow to nearly 26 million shillings over 20 years. By opting to spend instead of investing, you reduce your ability to build wealth and you make yourself vulnerable to financial destitution in your later years. Red flag number 3 is not having a budget. A budget may seem unnecessary, and not having one be regarded normal and harmless. You just don't want to spend time making a list which you think doesn't matter. Well, that's a massive red flag that can undermine your whole financial life. You see, without a budget, spending tends to happen randomly. You spend money fast and then only later try to figure out where it went. This reactive approach leaves you vulnerable to overspending, accumulating debt, and struggling to cover essential expenses. A budget, on the other hand, gives you clear sight of your finances. It tells you exactly where to spend your money and, just as importantly, where not to spend it. Because a budget is made after considering your limited income and calculating where to spend it, while saving some, you are able to steer clear of financial disasters. By allocating a specific amount for necessary expenses such as housing, utilities, groceries, savings, you ensure that these essentials are covered before spending on non-essential items. It also helps you avoid the need to rely on mobile loans, as you are less likely to overspend when your financial limits are clearly defined. When you don't create a budget, you may end up spending more than you earn, leading to a cycle of relying on mobile loans or bank loans to cover expenses. This not only incurs high interest debts, but also puts you on a financially unstable path. Red flag number 4, and this is the failure to differentiate between good debt and bad debt. Interestingly, people make money by taking on debt because for them it's a loophole in the system. Honestly, it really is, if it is used rationally. Now, let me explain how this works. Good debt is an investment in your future and usually comes with low interest rate. This kind of debt, such as a mortgage or a business loan, often leads to long-term gains by either increasing your net worth or boosting your business profits. For instance, taking out a mortgage allows you to own a home, which typically appreciates over time. Similarly, business loans can lead to higher business profits, making them a worthwhile investment. You can even take a loan to buy a property which will be rented out, and the rent will be used to pay the mortgage payments. In the end, you will have a property that would have paid for itself. However, there is bad debt as well, which offers no future value and comes with high interest rates. Mobile phone loans are prime examples of bad debt. They accumulate interest rapidly and often do not contribute to building your financial future. Therefore, the inability to distinguish between these two types of debt can lead people to either avoiding debt altogether, thereby missing out on wealth building opportunities, or accumulating bad debt for consumable purchases. Over time, bad debt can snowball, as high interest payments make it difficult to pay down the principal balance. This creates a cycle where debt increases, credit scores drop, and opportunities for financial growth diminish. Red flag number 5 is overdependence on a single source of income. Relying solely on one source of income can be a financial disaster waiting to happen. In today's economic climate, jobs are not as secure as they once were, and changes in the market, layoffs, or personal health issues can quickly disrupt your main source of income. Therefore, financially literate individuals understand that they should not just stop at having a job. They know that the importance of diversifying income streams to build financial stability. This diversification can come from side jobs and passive income investments such as rental properties. Every month, these streams can bring in income that can be invested. When something unforeseen happens, this income can then be used to cover expenses. However, when someone is dependent on a single job, the sudden loss of that income can create immediate financial hardship. Without additional income streams or a substantial emergency fund, individuals often choose to borrow at high interest rates just to meet basic expenses, and this is a true path to financial disaster. Red flag number 6. Constant reliance on friends, parents, or relatives' advice. It is said that if you're buying a Mercedes, don't ask for advice from a Suzuki owner. Frankly, you might need financial advice. However, instead of getting financial education from somebody who's an expert, many people often ask friends, parents, or relatives. I am not saying that they are not sincere, but that they may be well-meaning but uninformed, or even worse, misinformed. You must ask somebody who is qualified to guide you to where you want to go. It's true that we need guidance at every point of our financial life, and whom you ask makes a big difference in whether you achieve that success. The good news is that you know you must get financial education. Start by learning how successful people manage their finances, read books about financial insights, and take your first step towards financial education. Question: did you find any of these red flags in your life? Isn't it true that these habits and actions seem normal but make a huge difference? In the comments section below, let me know what if somebody continues to ignore this red flag, where it will lead. If you want to learn in more detail how you too can generate passive income so that you can gain your financial freedom, then what you need to do is watch my free training, How to Grow Your Wealth and Attain Financial Freedom. Click the link in the description below and you will get immediate access to that training video. Click the link in the description below to get immediate access. If you love this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for practical insights on financial freedom, personal finance, and financial literacy. Thank you for watching.